Just a quick stream here this morning, just to show that I succeeded. Okay, it was long to do. It was very long to do, and it required a lot of concentration. I'm not entirely done though with the neighboring checks, so we have much more voxels uh, than than we want, and I'm only using so my basic stuff there for checking if for checking the if we need to build a voxel or not, a face or not. Okay, so no neighboring checks right now. Okay, so a lot of changes. I cleaned my script here. It's not entirely cleaned, but it's not static though. I think I'm gonna change that to static very soon. And except for that, I had to add in a couple of things and change a lot of things. So, for instance, now I'm using thread data, my class here, to send two chunks: the top face chunk and the rest. So the faces. So face 0, and here it's face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sending that to the threads. So here, when I'm starting, I really have to clean this script. So here, it's the same thing as before. We build top face, vertex, and the index buffers. I'm not using. I didn't try deferred rendering, build stuff yet. So we're building that with one thread, and after that first step is done, we jump into the second, or well, that was a step 0. So now we're in step 1. In step 1, I am creating two chunks, and with those chunks, I am sending. I might try to not do that actually. To not even do the swaps. And let's see if it's gonna work, because it's just creating two things, and it might still work. Okay. Swap chunk top face. So it would be this one here, and the other one would be this. So I really wanted to make sure that multi-threaded writing to file and multi-threaded generation was going to be possible. That was the goal of my coding of yesterday's, I would say, and the days prior to that. Okay, so first what we're doing is building the top face only in order to generate the maps. So I'm not looping 6 faces here, I'm just looping one face, which is the top face. I'm always building the top face first for the maps. And once the top face is done, we are also building the vertices maps for the top face. I don't think I would need to do that normally, but I think I tried I'm going to retry that later anyway. So, and this is, number of faces is 1 here instead of 6 also. So I think I tried building the maps right after for the rest of the faces, right about here, and I didn't have the intended results. So for the moment, that's what I'm doing. I'm building. So let's just write it here. Building the map for the top face only. The chunk maps for the top face only. Prep. Let's say here is a prep. Here we are building the maps for the top face only, but it's more than this, because these here are launching the top face. So let me see here. Top face maps, chunk maps starting. So ended in now working on creating the vertices maps for the top face. Okay, this portion here, and I'm going to remove this. So the top face is here. Oops, I'm just gonna put that here. Perfect. Okay, and I can do that right here. Okay. Now here I'm starting at 1 because the face index 0 was the top face, and it's done. And I'm going up to the number of faces here, which is 6, and what we're doing is doing the same thing. Okay, so building the maps for the top face for the rest of faces. Okay, only prep. So this is the prep. We're preparing the functions, loading the thread starts inside of a list, which is right here. So bam, so like this here, and here we're doing the same thing. We're using the same queue, because the queue is empty now. So instead of loading different queues and stuff, I'm just keeping one queue. And let me just take this here, this portion like this, and so it's not the rest of faces. Like this, and here it's not. It's the rest of faces chunk maps ended, and now working on creating the vertices for the rest of faces. Like this, and like this. Okay. And after that we've done that, we've generated the vertices, the maps for the top face, the maps for the vertices of the top face, and then the maps for the rest of faces, and then the maps of the vertices for the rest of the faces. We jump to writing to file the top face, from retrieving from the files the top face maps for the chunks, and putting that in a string. And I'm not using that yet though. I'm not using it yet. I mean the strings, I'm not reading the strings yet. And that's the next part that I wanted to do today, because that's why I don't have a neighboring check right now. Okay, and after that we have the step 4, which is building the instances. Now you're gonna see here that I've put inside of the queue here the values after the values. I mean the chunks after that the vertex maps are being built. So I've put that inside of the queue. So, and that's the callback of the first function map data thread there. We're inserting a callback inside of that queue. So when I empty that queue, we're calling the callback. The callback is on map data received. Flip switch work on mesh, which I'm going to change later on to just, you know, build the vertex arrays, whatever. And what we're doing when we're emptying that queue is that we're just pasting the data of the chunk inside of our jagged array. And once we have pasted the data, oh, well, I can do that here. One moment. There's no need to do that here. We're gonna do that. No, that's not gonna work. That dot the rest chunk is equal to this here. I think that's gonna be even better. Yes. So that I don't have to paste the data twice here. Okay. I'm just gonna try it. And after this step is done, it's over. You know, well, we're building, or we're doing the deferred rendering bullshit that I'm not even using yet. So we're going to the deferred rendering portion. The rendering portion. Okay. So let me show you the speed. So we're writing to file here and all that stuff. You're gonna see that on the left monitor. But it's just an 8x8x8. Okay. Mesh flickering also and stuff. Well, we got a lot of extra faces here, you know, and yeah. So, am I using deferred rendering in here? Yes. Immediate rendering. We got like a 15 FPS. Might have to restart my to disconnect my headset, plug it, because the left eye is acting weirdly here. It's like flickering and stuff. Need a reset or something. So yeah. So the 15 FPS, I think it's due to the fact that I have like an insane amount of instances still. Okay, we had an even lower FPS at the level of 120 here yesterday. So all of the extremities of every chunks, let me just reload it. You're gonna see that all the threads are working now at the same time, not one after the other. They're just working at the same time in order to write all those files. Okay. So let me show you here. I'm just gonna go through the Thor. So now you see that all of the chunks have their extremities, you know, their parameter with faces drawn. So there's a lot of instances right now, and a lot of of those extra instances in order to make the level visible. Okay, it's like this for all the sides of the level. Okay. So, and because of that, well, we have lag. Okay, that's one of the reasons that we have lag. Okay, and we don't have culling, but we don't need it. We're really close here. So yeah. So it works. Okay, but a level of 120 by 8 by 120 takes a lot more time to generate. Don't know why, and I'm going to be reviewing this today. Well, one of the reasons that I think that it takes a crap load of time is that I'm loading so many instances. It's just really that, and the thread starts have to work on much more data. But Yeah, I'm gonna review anyways, because the top face is quite fast to generate, and I think there was some problems with the instances. Let me just show you the speed still. The speed in the beginning. Okay. Just to show you here. Oops. So every chunks of the top face have been initialized. Oh, all faces, I mean. They're writing to file. So once they're done, they're jumping straight away on the building the vertices for the top face, vertices map for the top face. And after the vertices map for the top face have been done, we're build chunk maps, face type and wrote maps to file. Yeah, it's building now the vertices map for the rest of the faces, which is faster. It's faster because I'm using the top face maps as reference. We don't need to rebuild the maps and restart the Perlin functions. We're already at 53 seconds anyway, so it's really slow. But we're writing to file. Okay. If we were not writing to file, it would be much faster. And we have a lot of RAM usage also here. I'm not clearing anything because I'm not done yet. So there you go. Okay, the loading maps to string from file, and we're gonna have the loading of the. If I'm debugging it, I don't think I'm debugging the yeah, end of loading maps to string from file. Oh yeah, it just happened earlier. So it was already done, and building the instances takes a crap load of time here. Okay. So because we're pasting the data inside, and then we build the instance, I don't know why it takes that long now. I really don't know. So it was the same thing yesterday. It went like, I think it takes like 5 minutes or something, and it goes up to 23 gigabytes of RAM. So a lot of RAM usage that we have to clear. But before I clear anything, I really have to check the neighbors chunks in order to reduce the amount of faces. So I'm not gonna generate this level. Instead, what I'm going to do is just cancel the write to file and see the speed here. Okay, so that there's no write to file happening. Already 30 seconds and we're not done. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go to the next step anyway, because the next step is gonna be blocked because there's no files existing. So we're not gonna increase the counter. Yeah. The counter of job done. This counter here is never gonna be increased because the files don't exist. Okay. But yeah, we were like already very high in the thing. So there's still a lot of things left to fix. Just wanted to do a quick test like this. So the next thing to do is to bring back the logic there that I had implemented. Maybe for the neighborings chunks. And once I have that, we might be able to have a better performance and better FPS. So I deleted all of this yesterday. You know, I just was I just kept the values there that I'm setting, but just so I have to put that here. Okay. So I'm gonna take a break, a short break, and I'm gonna be right back. So it shouldn't be that long.